What's going on YouTube? H-Dub here, and you know we playing Raid, and today we have the Dark Elves and High Elves faction crypts open. So if you're trying to make some progress in these factions, this video is 100% for you. If you're already done with faction wars, maybe you know you could pass this information along to a player that is in need of some assistance. But let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to be talking about some rare champions that you could be using to progress these factions, some overlooked champions, some champions that are easily accessible, guys. So if you haven't already checked the spreadsheet that I've made with all of the champions and all of the factions that I think that you can invest in to, you know, make some progress. I've gone through all of the factions, guys. They're all on here, and they're separated by support and CC champions, and the damage dealers you can find just below. I've also put which boss you will face in each faction on here, as well as the boss's skills, and I have that separated by the stage. So we have the stage 7 boss, the stage 14 boss, and the stage 21 boss, so that you can properly prepare yourself. You can understand what you're getting into and why or why not you may, why not why excuse me, you aren't able to beat that boss, and how to better prepare yourself, what champions you might want to use, and what gear you should probably be putting on those champions. But let's go ahead and take a look at the spreadsheet really quickly. So let's go over High Elves first, since they're at the top, and obviously we have the champs here. We're gonna go look at them in game and see why I am recommending these champions. And obviously first is going to be Mr. Apothecary, who is a lot of people's favorite for early game progression. He can help you out in Fire Night, he can help you out in a ton of places, but he definitely shines in faction wars. If you need a healer, if you need some turn meter control, this guy is amazing. Also has a great base speed at 107, decent base HP at 17k, could be a little higher, but we'll take it for a rare. His A1 hits 3 times, so great for Fire Night early game, trying to get that shield down. Obviously has heals on his A2, and it can be critical. Now what this means by critical is if you build him with crit rate, the heal can be critical and it will increase the heals. And this is on a 2-turn cooldown book, so kind of an OP heal. His A3 plays a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns and fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. Largely used in the early game, even the mid game in some places on some accounts, some free to play, very light spin accounts. This guy is going to very much come in handy for you, but he can definitely be used in faction wars to help you, get some boosts, get some heals, and give you a bit more sustain. Now the next champion we're going to be talking about is Reliquary Tender, who is an amazing champion. She's a void champion for sure, so if you don't have void shards, a bit more difficult to get, but she is a rare, so you can have an opportunity to get her, more of an opportunity than you have to get some of the legendaries or epics. So decent base HP at 18k, 103, very great, very good base speed, for a rare champion, solid for sure. But why are we using this champion, right? On her A1, she has a chance to place decreased attack, which is okay. It's not a great chance. You can book it up to, what's that, 60% there? No, 50%. You can book it up to 50%. And that's, decreased attack is very helpful for overall longevity. Just place decreased attack on the damage dealer if it's an attack based damage dealer, and you're good to go, right? If they're defense based, HP based, though, this debuff doesn't help you in any way. A2 is a cleanse, which is very solid. 3-turn cooldown on the cleanse right here, and is going to place a continuous heal, so give you some heals, give you a cleanse. This can be very, very helpful for you in faction wars. Not only can you use this champion in faction wars, I've seen this champion used in Doom Tower. If you need a cleanser for, Nether Spider, get those poisons up off of you, get you some heals back. This is on a 3-turn cooldown. She's a solid option there, and also with the decreased attack is going to help you against that boss. Also, I've also seen her used in clan boss as well as a cleanser, so you can put her in any of those comps where you need a 4-3 cleanser or what have you to cleanse the stun off of your champions. Reliquary Tender is an option for that. Her A3 also has a revive. It's a single target revive, Gonna boost some turn meter as well on the revive, 30% HP on the revive, and this is a 5-turn cooldown book, so not the greatest revive, but she is one of the few rare revivers in the game. We don't have that many, so if you need a reviver in this faction, somebody to just, you know, come and revive that one champion that keeps dying at the end, she is definitely gonna help you out. But let's go ahead and take out a look at the next champion. That is going to be Medicus. Where are you? This is a new rare, not new, but I think we got this champion in one of the fusions, like, you know, within the last 6 months or so. She was a part of one of the fusions, but we're taking a look at this champion just because, you know, she has a 2-hit A1, so that's not really it, but she has an AoE decreased speed, right? And it's not a 100% chance, it's a 70% chance, but decreased speed can be a very powerful debuff for you in faction wars. It'll get you more turns in, it'll, you know, make your opponents take less turns, so definitely want to be using this. It's also AoE on a 3-turn cooldown, so you can put her in a stun set. She is stun set viable, guys, and, you know, get that 3-turn cooldown AoE, get some stuns up, get some decreased speed up, and it's definitely going to help you out on the waves for sure. Decreased speed going to help you out for sure against the boss, because the boss, you know, you want the boss to take as few turns as possible. On her A3, she's going to place increased defense and increased speed on herself, but increased defense is on everybody. This is on a 3-turn cooldown book, so increased defense buff. It's not the big increased defense, but it's still going to help you out a bit, guys, so definitely take advantage. I more so would use her for her A2 just to, you know, have a chance to stun and decrease speed and try to get some more turns in. She has decent base speed at 106, so you'll be able to build her pretty fast. Her base HP could be better. She has, you know, higher base attack than, you know, some people, but it's still very low, so I wouldn't try to build her to do damage at all. But she is attack based, not the greatest for a support champion. I like to see support champions based on HP or defense. But the next champion we're going to talk about is Aerys, who is using a lot of clan boss teams. Obviously we got Myth Air, you know, Myth Food, Myth whatever, all those Demytha comps, you know, use this champion, and this is a farmable champion, guys, so definitely want to be taking advantage of getting her. I think you can get her from Palace of Aravia in the campaign very easily, as long as the RNG is on your side. But why are we using this champion? On an A1, attacks one enemy, grants an extra turn if the target is killed. The A2 is also a cleanse, so we have another cleanser. So if you don't have Reliquary Tender, you know, she's going to remove one debuff. You're not going to get too many debuffs on you in faction wars, but she is an option if you need a cleanse, and is also going to, you know, place increased speed on everybody, right? And if you book her, there's a 100% chance to place increased speed. I don't like buffs that, you know, only have a chance to be placed, so you're definitely going to want to book her. She gets a lot more value out of being booked, but increased speed definitely helps you a ton in faction wars. If you bring her in with Medicus, who's putting up decreased speed, you guys are going to be going a lot faster. Apothecary is also going to be giving you increased speed and turn meter, so you're going to be taking a lot of turns, guys. Her passive ability is going to counterattack the attacker when an ally is attacked, so you can build her to do a little bit of damage, but for the most part we just want her in here helping out with some, you know, increased speed and a possible cleanse if you have a debuff on you. She also has a speed aura, but it's not, you know, applicable to faction wars. Now I would I probably need to move her in this section and probably put her down here with potential damage dealers, because, you know, if you do build her to do some damage and she gets counterattacking if your opponent is taking turns, you know, just an option. I'm not saying that these are the best, you know, end all be all options, but this is an option, just a interesting passive here, and it's on a 1-turn cooldown. So if she counterattacks, she can hit somebody. If you got to go in fast enough with the decreased speed and increased speed from your other champions or whatever other champions you have in the comp, like, this is not so you guys, you know, build all rare comps. This is so that you can, you know, possibly fill some roles that you might be needing. But she is not my #1 pick as a damage dealer. I would say out of the rares, my number one pick would obviously be Elhane, who is a starter champion you can get very easily. She has the highest base speed and a base attack of all the starter champions, I believe, as well. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure one of these is the highest out of all of the starter champions. I think it's definitely the base speed, might also definitely be the base attack. But she was the starter champion I chose. Obviously, her kit speaks for itself. If you aren't aware of her kit, though, we'll talk about it briefly. Attacks one enemy, plays an extra hit if the attack is critical. You're going to be building her with crit rate, so the attack should be critical. Now, while you don't need 100% crit rate for her A2 ability, you might still want to build her with 100% crit, just so this has a chance to hit twice. But the A2 only needs 85%, and she's going to place increased crit on herself anyway. So if you do open with the A2 and it kills somebody, she's going to get increased crit, and you don't need to build with 100% crit anyway. But just a good rule of thumb, build with 100% crit, guys. The A3 is an AoE and it hits everybody twice, 3-turn cooldown. And obviously you want to book her so you can get more damage, get the cooldown on that A2, because her multipliers are decent. All of the starter champions have decent multipliers. I think that if you need a damage dealer for this faction, you don't have one, Elhane is 100% a viable option. Now the next champion we're going to be talking about, and we don't have many options here. There aren't too many rares, but I felt like Fencer could also be an option for you. Let's take a look at her kit. Has a decreased speed on the A1, right? She's hitting 2 times. 2-hit A1 is solid for sure. The A2 attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Also steals 20% of the target's turn meter if the stun is not placed, which is huge because you get some turn meter control. But obviously we have what's that, 25, we had 100% chance to place that stun. Now if you don't build her with accuracy, or if you get 3% and she doesn't place the stun, she's going to do some turn meter control. And the A3 is an AoE and places decreased defense. It's the small decreased defense, but it's on a 3-turn cooldown. And if you don't have a decreased defense champion in this faction, you don't have any of the epics that place it. So say you don't have Tyrell, you don't have, I don't think any of these other people place decreased defense. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think Tyrell might be the only epic here. I don't know about this guy. Tyrell might be the only epic here that places decreased defense. So if you don't have Tyrell, or you don't have like Bellinor, right, or you don't have Alexander, then you 100% can use this rare champion to place decreased defense for you. And she has an AoE, so you could build her to do some damage, place the decreased defense, all of that jazz. She has multi-purpose kind of CC and damage. She does have okay multipliers. I'm not saying they're OP, but she does have some decent multipliers. So, and she has decent base speed at 100. It could be worse. A lot of damage dealers have really low base speed. So that is going to be our options for high elves, guys. Definitely take advantage of this decreased defense on 3-turn cooldown if you don't, and the chance to stun, do some turn meter reduction, what have you. I hope this video helps you guys, though. If you want to see more content like this, let me know. I plan on doing a video like this for all of the factions, because I have already took the time to look through all of them. I've already looked at all of the rares. I've already looked at how they work in conjunction with the bosses, so, and where else they can be used in other areas of the game. But until next time, guys, I've been HWZ. Be good and be well.